Welcome to the Healing Circle. I am so delighted that we're talking today. Now, let's talk about something that affects all of us, and that is sleep. Sleep affects our health. Mental clarity is connected to our sleep. Now, when we spell the word sleep, and I'm reading from my book, Overcome Negative Thoughts, The Secret is at the Kitchen Table by Dr. Wilda Mills. You can get this at Barnes & Noble, Prize Books, Pyramid Bookstore, Amazon. When we spell that word S-L-E-E-P, we see something in that word. We see the letters S-E-E-C. It tells us then that what we look on physically before going to bed has a direct impact on the quality of our sleep. We hear the stories. People who watch horror movies and all of that, when they get to sleep, they have a lot of nightmares. I'm not saying that that's the only thing that causes nightmare, but be careful of what you see just before you go to bed. All right, so the next letter is L, and that talks about the light. Light does affect sleep, so get expert advice from your doctor as to what type of light is best for your environment before you go to sleep. The next letter is E, and it says eat is a part of sleep. When we think of caffeine, and we think of not having a large meal just before we go to bed, because then the body is going to be using up that energy to metabolize and digest that meal, and it's going to affect the oxygen that goes to our brain, and it's going to affect the quality of our sleep. The next E says the relationship between sleep and energy level is complex. So some people, they exercise before they go to sleep, and they find that that helps. Some, they just can't do that. So you have to know what level of energy you want to engage yourself in just before you go to sleep. It's individualized. Then the letter P. P means problems. Why would you engage yourself in a caustic conversation before you go to bed? Or why would you look up for the most difficult problems that you've been having throughout the day to start to think about those before you go to bed? Here's a recommendation I have for you. I want you to incubate a thought. Incubate something that is going to relieve your mind from the stress. And then you have to be intentional to do it right before you go to sleep. So you incubate, you think on something peaceful. You can visualize something, a waterfall, or just a nice moment. But incubate something, and with intention, that when you do that, it's going to manifest in your day going forward. See you next time in the Healing Circle, and optimize your sleep. It is essential for good health.